We are socialized beings. We may think we are unique snowflakes, but we conform more than we know. Most of us end up as sheep following the herd.
At some point or another, teenagers start to prefer the company of teens their own age, as opposed to hanging out with their parents. Teenagers naturally gravitate away from their parents as they grow up. Seeking autonomy and independence is absolutely a normal part of adolescence. This is a natural part of growing up. Teens' friends will gradually overtake their parents as the biggest source of social and emotional support.
What is peer pressure?
Peer pressure refers to the influence that friends, peers, and classmates have on the way we think and act. And it comes in many different forms.
Why do people give in to peer pressure?
Some teens give in to peer pressure because they want to fit in and be liked. Or because they worry that other kids might make fun of them if they don't go along with the group. Others go along because they are curious to try something new that others are doing. The idea that everyone's doing it can influence some kids to leave their better judgment, or their common sense, behind.
Positive peer pressure.
After all, in our evolutionary past, cooperating with groups was necessary for people to survive. Because of this, social norms have a huge effect on our behavior. These norms aren't necessarily bad. For instance, if a peer group wants to make good grades, a young teen can be positively influenced to study. Or if members of the football team take a pledge to abstain from smoking, to focus on staying healthy and having a winning season, other students may adopt the same behavior.
Negative peer pressure.
But following them can also cause us to act in risky or dangerous ways to fit in. Asking a young teenager to engage in behavior that is against their moral code or family values is a type of negative peer pressure.
Direct peer pressure.
Sometimes your peers may proactively influence you to behave in certain ways. We call this direct peer pressure. It puts you in a position of having to make an on-the-spot decision. Examples of direct peer pressure include when someone dares you to do vandalism, or encourages you to shoplift, or when they offer you a cigarette or an alcoholic drink.
Indirect peer pressure.
Other times we may just be following along due to an implied or indirect peer pressure. Indirect peer pressure is subtle and not always obvious but can still exert a strong influence on a naive and impressionable youth. Examples of indirect peer pressure can include when a teen overhears gossip about another person and then treats that person differently.
So how can we handle peer pressure?
Try these tips for staying strong and not giving in to peer pressure. First, it's important for us to learn how to spot peer pressure and recognize the many different forms it can come in. You should know that it's okay to say no, especially if you feel uncomfortable or rushed into making a decision you aren't sure of. If a friend does not respect your personal boundaries, they aren't a good friend at all. It is tough to be the only one who says no, but you can do it using humor to deflect pressure or attention. You should learn when to walk away from situations that may threaten your values and self-worth. Ask for support and discuss what you've been going through with your parents and teachers or someone you trust. Balance the increased freedom you've been given with your increased responsibilities. Be an example of responsible behavior. Distance yourself from bullies or critical friends or workmates. Instead, you can cultivate friendships with people who really care about you and not about the way you look. Do a range of activities and meet new people. Having different circles of friends in different settings can take the pressure off trying to fit in with a single friendship group. Know, love, and be yourself.